All right, the next item on our agenda is visitor statements. So I'm going to start over here first. Anybody want to speak?
Hi, my name is Jerry Buttimer. I live in Riverside. Congratulations on a great year just complete. New board, new superintendent, lots of new people, new systems. Computers look great. It's all pretty impressive. I came to touch on the issue of the new policy for not-for-profits. I was at the May board meeting. There were some questions. I had some comments to make, but I held back then, but I'd like to make them now. I want to start out by referring back to the genesis of some of these issues. In about 2007, I became aware of some booster transactions that I thought were inappropriate. Love the boosters, love what they do, but I thought the expenditures were inappropriate. So I called a friend of mine that was on the boosters, and he said, well, I think we loaned that referendum committee some money. Maybe you better talk to so-and-so. So I thanked him, and I called the other fellow. And we had a brief chat, and we went out and had a drink to talk about it. And it was all very discreet. And I suggested a possible solution. It went on for several months. We had some meetings with the then present athletic director and the boosters. We talked about a multitude of issues. They asked if I could recruit some help, and they had in mind obtaining perhaps pro bono services from a lawyer and an accountant. And I recruited some help. And it turned out, with what I would say is now 4 years of hindsight, that was primarily a stall. Because the people that we recruited, and I think Tim got requested, Mike got requested, I don't think it ever really went anywhere. And later, somewhat related to that, I requested Tim's help on setting up bylaws for the wrestling club that was mentioned in the May discussion. And Tim, of course, was right there to help. Wonderful set of bylaws. I'll get to that in a little bit. So after a couple years went by, I published a report to the boosters, and I brought a copy of that to share with you. There were transactions that gave money to a political committee or a referendum committee, call it what you would like, but when the money had been donated to the boosters for our children's sports, that's what in my mind made it inappropriate. During the course...
Let me interrupt for a minute. With our new policy and everything I did, you have 3 minutes to speak, so, okay.
Okay. During the course of that, the athletic director told me that there was a missing bank account because we could identify certain transactions that went into the political committee, but we couldn't see where they came out of. And Mr. Zeman called that the missing account. Now think of the absurdity of that statement, a missing bank account. I can understand a missing checkbook. I can understand that I can't find my check register, but I cannot understand or comprehend a missing bank account. Banks don't disappear, nor do the accounts. It was funny at the time, as he referred to, if we can't find it, you think the IRS can. It boggled my mind, and it boggles my mind even more that we're now several more years down the path and we still don't have this resolved. Those things in my mind caused this great institution to lose credibility with the community. You folks have much more credibility now. And I think you're regaining it, but I encourage you to proceed with that new policy. With regard to putting a check register on your website, think about it. You need to back it up anyway. What does it take? Is it onerous? Someone has to keep the check register, so I suggest that work is already done. To click and convert it to a PDF is a click in a couple of seconds. To click again and upload it is again a couple of seconds. Now I brought with, I think Gary mentioned the wrestling club, and Tim had some questions about putting stuff on websites. We set up, with Tim's help, bylaws for the wrestling club. I think was it the Otters? So we cut and pasted rather than reinvent and spend a lot of money. And with good professional help, for nothing. Here's their website. This is just a screenshot, I'll pass it around. Here are some of the files that can be kept. One is their check register. It's been up there for 4 years. Their bylaws are there. It's convenient for me because I'm a knucklehead and I always know where to find it. It's convenient for any member of that club to simply download. And it's interesting that once you become that transparent, people don't have a lot of questions. So it doesn't generate work, it reduces work. And it really shows the community, in our case, our members, that we are transparent. So we set up 6 other websites for different teams in the school. You can see what they look like. They're fast, they're easy. You might ask, what does it cost? Those are free. I've seen significant change in the high school's website in the last 12 months. To hang a couple of PDFs doesn't take any space. So I strongly encourage you to do it, and thank you for the time.
Okay. Anybody want to speak over here? Anybody?